Oh, yeah.
Just hanging out with Carpool Gaming.
Oh, he's there.
Oh,
What's 9 p.m.
hi.
there? Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. So that must mean it
sure.
works. That's good. That means we've officially transitioned over to OBS. No more slobs. Streamlabs
Nice.
OBS. So we're slowly but surely making, because it was nice to kind of like start from scratch on this, as terrifying as that can be. But we're making tweaks, you guys. We're doing all the things, and it feels great.
I have to get used to my big head in the screen.
I can do some more tweaking.
No, it's fine.
Not tonight. It is what it is tonight. Like that's where we're rolling with that. What am I wearing? You love it.
Gosh.
You love it, Court. You love it. And look at this. Look what I can do now. Look at that. That is cool. Right there.
Oh, I was like, what are you pointing at?
Yeah, it looks funny for us.
Yeah.
For the at-home viewers, how cool is that, you guys? I did it. Oh, look at this. Oh, click on that. Yeah. It's got your little face there, Court. Oh, that is real good. Very nice. Oh, Ryan Turford in the house too. I'm gonna have to remember to click those things away as well. But I've got new toys, you guys. I can talk about who forever now. Who? I don't know who. What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, come on, Sean.
You know who? Oh.
I was like, are you
say, I
really
know
don't
who.
know?
I thought it was at least hockey related.
No.
No.
Switch to the one thing you hate, of course.
Oh my gosh. How does everything look, you guys? I think look at us. Look at us.
So professional.
Yes.
Nice and fancy.
Oh, and and for people at home, look at this. Ooh.
I'm just going to do this when you do it, even though I can't see it.
Yeah, just go along with it. Ooh.
Yeah, and also, and this. Ooh. Yeah, this is right below Rockcliffe. Yeah. Yes, good stuff, you guys. I've got so many screens going, but I've got it all figured out. It's taken me until now. I've had this like ultra wide monitor for a while, and it messes with streaming stuff, I have to say. Because like we stream to a normal size monitor, but I'm watching you on a giant, so everything has to kind of squish, and it's a whole process. So, and I haven't really spent the time to get it right until basically last night, and it felt pretty good, you guys. Also, wait a minute. You have show and tell. I have show and tell. I splurged on some stupid stuff yesterday. One of them being I showed this to Ryan yesterday. I bought a magazine just cause.
Yeah.
100 games to play before you die. I think this would be fun to just kind of. What's this page? And The Secret of Monkey Island. What are the chances?
That's a great game.
Because guess what else I bought? This PC Gamer magazine with Return to Monkey Island on the front of it.
What are the chances?
Unstoppable, you guys. I'm a mess.
Are these your magazine subscriptions that you're
I hadn't started the magazine. I would have saved a lot of money if I did the subscriptions, actually. So the cards are starting to collect. And I'll send them in the mail. I won't pay online. I'll fill out the little... I'm sure there's a card in here somewhere. Not in there. Must have lost it. Is it in here? No.
The way that
there it is.
Cropped so much that no one can see you waving this magazine.
I know. It's probably for the best. It's probably for the it's actually better for people to have a more limited view into my world. Yeah.
I'll drink my water to the side. No one can see me.
Oh my goodness gracious! Prefer the Oilers. Well, the Oilers aren't playing tonight. I guess neither are the Canadians. But yeah, I've got a bunch. It's celebration. It's a celebration for it. I like my eyes kind of just look like I don't know, like a psychopath, speaking with absolutely no emotion. Like if I kind of do a little emotion with my eyes, but if I just stay flat like this. But if I get really excited, but there's nothing happening with my eyeball.
I'm just shocked that your mic is you still sound very clear with a literal fabric.
It's not like a Teflon jersey. It's pretty breathable, I guess. Pretty heavy. These guys play in this stuff this logo this. Anyway, what are we even talking about? You guys are supposed to keep me under control.
Oh, man.
There is no control.
There is. You cannot control me. Let's see if we can... Look at that. We can fit that big, long message from Ryan Turford in here. That's neat. This is my favorite thing, you guys. I love this so much.
It looks good.
And highlight those. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fancy stuff.
All right. Well... Should we
the
podcast together? Should we do the dang
Ready to
thing?
do a podcast?
Okay, you got the Zencaster going. That's all we got.
It's going. We're good.
How's the audio,
All right.
you guys? Final check. All right.
Everything's looking good, sounding good.
You sound great.
Beautiful.
Nice.
You sound great.
You
Trying
sound
to
great.
remind my oh y'all. I'm glad I'm in between y'all. Like
You are. That was on purpose. That was one of the things I was just tweaking before because it showed up me in the middle. Like that cannot be right. Must fix that. All right.
guess we sound good. No one's responding.
Everybody's just sticking
Struggling.
on the hockey stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey y'all, welcome to the new Nintendo Drive and the 76th Nintendo Drive episode overall for Carpool Gaming. We're zooming into your screens, ears, and hearts this week, but first, consider following us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Carpool Gaming. If you like what you see on YouTube, give this video a like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on our content. And if you end up loving us and want more, be that driving force and support us over on Patreon at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming. And speaking of Patreon, we would like to give a special thanks to our newest supporter, Anna Hudak. Ooh. All the links to our socials and where to follow us will be in the description box below. Now let's roll that sweet intro.
Oh my goodness. 2 weeks in a row. We're back. We made it. We've been not taken off the internet yet. I've been looking forward to this since we stopped last week, Seth. This is like our new, it's a new thing. You get the excited. You get the butterflies, if I can say so.
Yes.
Very nice. Yes.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's exciting. And it's cool to you get to discover a new thing. There's so much creative energy going around. It's awesome, man. It's so fun.
We've got new buttons for me to push on the YouTube video here. We got.
Gosh.
We look totally different. Oh, I know. You guys are gonna
Much power.
You can have your conversation. I'm just gonna be over here clicking on things and making animation show up. Yes, it's just beginning. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You're like a little kid in a candy store with those.
I know. That's really why I
exciting new
can't stop
things.
this. Like, what am I gonna do with all of this? Like, this energy. Maybe go to work.
Gotta go somewhere.
No. I mean, I have kids. I guess there's that. You could probably take
Yeah,
care of them or
yeah.
something.
You have kids and podcasts though.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasts are also like little kids,
One of these days, they're gonna be so embarrassed by me right now. Like, you're in a good place, but then one day they're gonna be like, "You do what? Like on the internet? Like for other people to hear? Like, it's not gonna be good for them. I don't think."
Sit you down, have the, intervention like dad.
This is what dads get to do. They don't. You get to a point and you just don't. You don't care. You don't care what anybody else thinks. I was tweeting earlier today that I've reached stage 4 in dad life, where I thought Costco was like the ultimate dad clothes, and I was wrong. It's kind of like a Canadian Walmart, I guess, is maybe the best way to put it. The Superstore, which is amazing because there's a Netflix show called Superstore, very kind of similar. And there's a whole clothing line just exclusive to Superstore. It's called Joe Fresh, and it's got some hip styles, y'all, for $10.
I've never heard of any of these things.
I know. It's a weird little Canadian little trip. This is weird because Ryan and I are both Canadian, obviously on the Xbox Drive, so we get to just be weird together. And now you guys just stare at me with
and we're just sitting here in the southern United States. Like, what are y'all talking about up there?
Yep. I have my moments.
I had
Oh
no
my
idea what
gosh.
you meant in your tweet when you referenced that store. I was like,
And
It's
I made
another
no
language.
apologies. Did you
No,
say it's like another
language? Yes, it is a different language. I don't
Oh
get
my
it.
gosh.
And I have been through Canada one time in my life, and I did really enjoy it. But I did not learn any of the Canadianese while I was there at all.
Now I'm around. We're gonna get to know each other a little bit more, you guys, and about each other's cultures.
Oh my gosh, I love
As
it.
turns out,
Seth
Yeah.
and I need to teach you some things then.
This
Well-
is the thing about it. I feel like a Canadian venturing into podcasting. Like I was struck by just it. Everybody's American. I talk weird and I say weird things. So I've been trying to adjust for the last 6 or 7 years or so. So now you guys can just deal with it.
No, you don't talk weird. I always
Because I've been
that always
working
drove
on
me
it.
Crazy.
I've been working on
Well,
it.
maybe. Yeah. Maybe, and I also, like everybody kind of in that like Midwest kind of thing. It doesn't sound so dissimilar from a Canadian accent, like the people, the way they talk. My
Yeah.
wife and I were just watching that Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix. We were just watching that. And, they're all from like Wisconsin and stuff. And so they've all got those accents and stuff like that, you
Yeah.
know, and it is just kind of funny to
All of
kind of
my
get back into that
relatives.
world.
All of my relatives sound like those people. Like we're watching it too. So I'm just like, sounds like my Aunt Kathy over there.
Yeah, big time. Holy
I was
moly.
sitting here trying to figure out if like Aunt Kathy was a weird way of saying it. Like that's how I would say it.
Oh.
Aunt Kathy, something
They,
like aunt.
they do pronounce like O's like A's, like mom.
Yeah, my
Oh,
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems harder to do.
Go to the car. Yeah.
car. That's
It's like more harsh.
Mark Harabin, like that side of Canada definitely has a little that like the car. Yeah. Carpool gaming.
Oh gosh.
Almost
I'm glad.
Irish a little bit.
There's
a little- yeah.
You keep going to like Newfoundland, and it's like it's a different. That's a different language. It's a different way of life. It's all they take the same money, so you know it's Canada, but that's the only reason. That's the only sign. Yeah. Oh,
Y'all
man.
up there with
Gentlemen.
your loonies and toonies and whatnot.
Oh my gosh. Looney Tunes.
Whatever's going on up there. I mean, like you listen to it from the outside looking in. It literally
It's
just sounds
pretty
like
funny.
a cartoon universe. You know, it's great.
Like we already had the
love
loony. Why not? Like, what were we gonna start getting serious with our coins on the $2 coin? It's like the first one is a loony.
and the 2-cent piece or the $2 piece or whatever.
Yeah, we weren't
go
gonna
for
try to
toonie.
class it up. We know who we are. Toonie it is,
This
and
is-
it's.
This is the land of cheese and gravy on fries and loonies and toonies. Like, it's all
Exactly.
good.
I don't even think it's Toonie like TWO. I think it's like
No. It's TOO.
Yeah, like I don't know the last time I
Yeah.
would have spelt it out. Like so that that would have made too much sense. But here we are.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
I was
What are we
about to
talking
say,
about?
we're all
All
over
right.
the place.
That's what I'm here for.
Oh my God, Lockleth, bring us a little stability. What's been going on in your life, my friend? Bring some stability. Get us on track.
On
Otherwise, Sean and I
track.
are gonna be talking about Canada.
Well, I guess, I mean, I can, oh gosh. Well, that's where anyways, Sean could go all day long. I guess I could tell y'all what I've been playing.
Yeah.
Playing a little Tinykin and some Disney Dreamlight Valley. It's kind of two games I keep switching between here recently. So
Tinykin is so good. That's like one of
It
my
is
favorite games
good.
of the year. I love that.
Is it
game.
really?
Yes. It's so
it's
good.
like you're like a little 2D, kind of like Paper Mario in a way, in like a 3D like environment, but everything's like huge,
Yeah.
kind of like
Hmm.
grounded in a way, but you're inside of a house.
I'm hearing Pikmin. I'm hearing the word Pikmin thrown
Yeah.
around this game.
Has Pikmin vibes. Yep.
Mm.
It's got
I've never played Pikmin, so this is kind of a
But you
little-
know what though? Tinykin has got it. The design of it is so brilliant. It's so streamlined. Like it is just a really good 3D platformer. It kind of reminds me of a Mario 3D platformer. The way that it like you don't ever like they don't bog you down with a ton of abilities. Like you just have like your kind of core move set, really well designed levels. And then even like the Pikmin element, like it always annoys me in Pikmin how you have to like switch between Pikmin for different
Yeah.
abilities and whatnot. This, it just does it automatically. Like it's just, hey, I need to throw a red tinykin to burn down this thing, it just automatically does the tinykin that I need.
You
It's
know,
great.
you know that was the major quality of life update they're waiting for Pikmin 4, and now
Yes,
not a big deal anymore.
not a big deal anymore. Tinykin beats you to it. It's so good, and the music's so good, and
It is.
it's not even that long either. It's like 10 hours.
Really?
It's
I
not
was wondering
the-
how
yeah.
long it was. I'm like in the second. No, I'm in like I have to get like the third. Like, you have to get basically an object in every level.
Yeah.
And I'm working on getting the third one right now. I think there's what, 5 or 6
I
of
think
them
there's
total?
5 or 6 levels, yeah. And yeah, it's like a little 10-hour game, just really pleasant. It's one of my favorites of the year, for sure. It's really
Good, but like you said, with the controls being very simple, like it can be a few days before I play it again. It doesn't take me long to remember how to do stuff, which is very nice because I tend to
Yeah.
forget. Like, if I switch from Disney Dreamlight to Animal Crossing, I forget the controls on both of those, like whichever one I'm swapping to. And it makes me, especially for Animal Crossing, and it makes me like, well, why isn't it this other way? Because like it seems simpler in Disney Dreamlight, but you know.
I think
Love
I've
that
got
game.
that's been on my, I've got like as you guys can probably imagine, a wish list of games I want to get to. Like, I've got a list, and Disney is on there, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think I'm going to have to like stay on the single door on the ocean and let Jack just kind of fall back down into the frozen waters. And like, I could have saved him, if I moved over, but I'll see you later. I'll get to other things first, I suppose. But the backtrackers, I feel like, played this game, this Tinykin game. I think it sounds like it would be a perfect backtrackers kind of game. 10 hours?
It would be. Yeah, 10 hours. It would be a good backtrackers game. A lot of us did play it. I know Delroy and I played it for sure. I think maybe Ngachacha played it. Yeah, a lot of us played it. It'd be a great backtrackers game. For sure. We actually, right now, we're playing Inscription. So anybody who wants to join in for Inscription, we're doing a side trackers this Saturday, which I love the side trackers.
Dude,
that's just
all
like
the
a hangout.
directions.
Yeah, just who cares? Like, we're just hanging out. We hang out for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we just talk about whatever. And we're doing that this Saturday. These always happen at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then next Saturday, we're going to talk Inscription. So plenty of time
Nice.
to get in. Inscription's around that length too, 10, 12 hours. I think Bowser was saying she took care of it in like 16, 18 hours or something
Oh,
like that. But
snap.
that's kind of on the high end. I think she's already played through it. So, yeah.
So I heard something. I think I was listening to the Nintendo dads talking about Inscription. I don't think it was related. And they had mentioned something. You don't have to give it away. Apparently this is like dancing on spoiler, like landmines and whatever. But apparently like it presents itself like a card game.
Yeah.
And it isn't a card game?
Yeah.
Card game?
Yeah. One of those card games.
A card game?
One of them card games. I mean, like the central mechanic of it is a card, but it's like a card game dungeon crawler sort
Okay.
of thing.
Okay. Yeah,
That's-
I'm trying to because I heard something that like I didn't feel like it was too spoilery to me, but it was very intriguing. So I'm kind of like, how do I convey that without ruining it? If like, I'm just gonna say it. I don't think this is a spoiler, but apparently like Doki Doki
Oh, no.
Literature Club is like it
it
presents
takes a
itself.
turn.
Yeah, it takes some. Yeah.
I haven't played. I haven't played enough to see anything that I would consider a big turn like that. I'm still early days into
Oh,
it because
okay. So you don't
So
even know
there
what you're
was-
talking about, Seth.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, here's the deal, though. I just picked it up a few days ago because I was actually holding off on getting it because it had been rated for the Switch. I think I
Right.
even maybe mentioned that
Yeah.
last week on the show. Like, it was rated in the PEGI region for Switch. I'm like, man, like I would rather play this on Switch if I can get away with it. But then the time's ticking,
Yeah.
so I picked it up, and I've played, probably played 2 hours of it or something, enough to get my feet wet and stuff. But I still got plenty of time to play through it before we meet up next week. But
Well, hopefully you dry them off.
yeah, hopefully I dry them off afterwards. And
Nobody likes wet feet, like the socks
not in
especially.
the car.
My
Yeah,
God.
not in the car.
Yeah. Canadian and dad jokes.
Oh, geez. Sean, what have you been playing?
Oh, jeez.
Guys, I can't believe you guys haven't brought this up. Super Mario. Did you know there's a fifth Super Mario Brothers
Yes.
video game?
Have you
Yeah,
been
yeah,
playing
yeah.
it?
I am in love with this thing. I dusted off
my
my
gosh.
digital copy of Super Mario Maker 2. What a great reason to revisit this. I have to be honest with you guys. I forgot that this was a thing where it was something we were begging and screaming for at the first Mario Maker on the Wii U. Wouldn't it be great to like create a game or like a world with like a map and everything? And they did that. And I guess it was like years ago, probably 2020, I think it was, that you could create like a collection of levels and tie them together with like this kind of Mario world style map with all the music and everything. And that's what this person did. It's, what is his name? MetroidMike 64 on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I've got, hopefully we'll have these in the show notes. People should go check this out. Apparently this person has been working since like 2017 or something crazy like that, building these levels in the style that you would think that Nintendo made them. So this isn't like the typical Mario Maker levels that you'd see where you're just racing through it, or it's like this crazy, they throw in a billion enemies at you or whatever. This looks and feels like a Mario game with level. I think there's 40 levels across 8 worlds. So very standard for as far as a Mario game goes. From Mario, like on the NES, Mario 2, Mario 3, and Super Mario World levels just kind of interspersed. And it's probably the most fun. I think it's safe to say it's the most fun I've had on Mario Maker, period.
Wow.
Because it just feels so cohesive. And I haven't touched this Mario Maker game in a couple of years. I forgot a lot of like really cool bits about it. And if anybody's been playing Mario Maker this whole time, they're like, this isn't news to me, but like, whatever. It caught me by surprise. Mushroom pops up. It's looking a little weird. It's kind of like, is that thing gonna like poison me? It's a Mario 2 mushroom. Turns you into Super Mario from
right.
Mario 2 in the middle of like a Mario 3 level. Changes the music. Changes how you like act. Like you jump on a Goomba and you pick him up like a turnip and you throw him over your head. And it's awesome. Like all this, I don't know why this didn't hit me before. So much nostalgia, just like, oh, these songs and these sound effects just kept coming at me, especially when picking up the mushroom that turns you into Super Mario Land Mario. You turn gray, the music from the Game Boy game comes on. It's not a fireball, it's like a super ball. It's like bouncing around and stuff. Yes. I am in love. And I'm so impressed because I think when we all started playing Mario Maker, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, anybody can make a level. It's like, no, you can't. Okay.
No, not
no,
this
you
well.
can't. And not tied together. The one thing, this is the last thing I'll say on it, because I could go on and on about this, I promise you. I'm playing these levels, and you know how you just play through a Mario game at this point? You kind of jump in particular spots, kind of expecting for there to be a secret there, like a hidden question block or something like that. You're like, I wonder if something's over here. And then sure enough, you jump. It's like at the very end, or maybe you go back at the beginning of a level and you find something. And that's here throughout. Like you expect if you kind of like fly up a little bit, you're going to find something hiding up there. The last level, I think I'm on like World 3 or 4. And one of the last ones I was playing just felt like a bit of a troll. It's a swimming level. And right at the start, you can kind of like go to the right like you would. You can go up or down. It looks like there's like this little path, but it's not. It's just death. You go down there thinking you're going to kind of like find another like, descend down. And it's just, and then the best part is with Mario Maker, it shows you where everybody else has died on that level. And apparently like millions of people play this. Everybody's done the exact same thing. So I feel like I'm playing a Mario game, but connected to the community in a way that I have never gotten with a Mario game. So Super Mario Bros. 5, the ID code is in the show notes. Is it possible for this to be my game of the year? Yeah, it might be. This is some of the best.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
Mario. It's so good.
You should define that yourself. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares? It's game of the year is what you want it to be. This is actually a good segue for this question we got. Speaking of Mario, I just wanted to bring this up from the Muffin Mon on Discord. So I just picked up Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury and love the new cat power-up. So I want to know, across all Mario games, what are your favorite power-up abilities?
There's so many
power-ups. There's so many. The cat is good.
Cat
Is,
is
yeah.
OP. Like, can we just be
Oh,
real? It's just like
Yeah.
It is very OP.
they give it to you so you just get to the end of the level. Can't even fail the flagpole, for God's sakes.
Yeah, you just climb right up it. It's hard not to go Tanuki suit, right? Like, it's hard not to go Tanuki suit, honestly. Yes.
The statue, yes.
Like the fireball one.
Yeah, Fire Flower. Yeah. Classic.
Frog suit is good in a pinch. You know, it definitely takes some getting used to. I don't know why I'm thinking of the carrot from Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins. Just the
Dude,
little, like,
Super
the little
Mario
ears.
Land 2 is such a good game.
That is an excellent game. That's got to be in more.
People need to play those.
Is that in this 100 games to play before you die?
It
I don't
better
know.
be.
I haven't read all of this, okay? But I did go a little nuts with some physical media, some printed paper, okay? I don't know if this is in here. Got to it. I don't want to go through this. You guys can keep going. I'm just gonna.
Just read
Should
the
you
magazine and
reference? Should you reference one like every episode? So for the next 100 episodes, you know which
covered.
one is in
Oh,
there?
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is timely.
There you
Mario
go.
64 is definitely
Mario
There you go.
this is a
64.
that's an obligatory
Perfect
kind of
polygons.
Metal Mario is awesome.
That's a good
The
Yeah.
one.
music with Metal Mario is right. Oh man, that felt special. Look how shiny
That
he
is a
is.
good one.
Yeah.
It's like no one can see it because of the cropping, but you kind of have that Metal Mario behind you, Sean. on the
Yes.
shelves.
Yep.
That's
somewhere around here. Yep.
Like the top.
Oh, the
yeah.
plushie. Yep.
Yeah.
I have a gold.
Yeah,
Mario.
dude.
like-
Gold Mario's here too. Yep. Show and tell
I've
time.
seen yeah, there we go.
So it's a.
I like the.
It is Metal
that
Mario.
wing
It
cap,
actually
too.
is.
Yeah, it's Metal Mario.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not zooming
yeah.
on my thing, but it does say. I promise you, it says Metal Mario. I'm gonna be. Well, we can talk about this later, but I'm gonna be spending some stupid money at the Nintendo New York store pretty soon.
Oh my
I'm bringing an
gosh.
extra bag, you guys.
You're gonna need to.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
How do I hang this guy like around here or something?
Gonna break something.
Yeah,
Sounds like a terrible idea.
Well, Seth, what have you been playing? I think I already know what
Oh,
you're gonna say,
man.
but what have you been playing?
Well, yeah. Well, okay, so this actually, I think the main thing that I'll bring up, because I haven't had any time for games, y'all. Like, that's just I've been so busy this past week. Like, my wife was out of town, picked her up and everything, got her home. She's been sick also.
Aw.
So yeah, so taking care of her and stuff, and we're getting stuff all together and working on a bunch of stuff right now. I got an episode of Keep Nintendo Weird coming out later this week that Locklith is on, actually. So that's
Yeah.
cool.
Look at you
Be on the lookout
on
for
all our
that.
podcasts.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I
Locklith,
figured out how to hang that. Wow. Okay.
Locklith doing the podcast tour,
Yeah.
going from We the GamerCast and Keep Nintendo Weird and everything. So I got that cooking up. I've been working on this. Speaking of Mario 2, I've been playing a little bit of that because I'm capturing footage for this episode of Behind Enemy Lines that I'm working on, which is my little mini series I do on the All In YouTube channel. It's about like Mario enemies, like kind of a profile of them. So I've done like Tatanga from Mario Land and stuff, and
Yes.
you know, so I'm doing one for Spooky Month. I'm doing one on the Phanto enemies from Mario 2. So I've been kind of working on that. Just busy, man. But I will shout out, since we got a question about this from Ngachacha. I know Seth got this game last week, so this question is for Sean and Lachlan. Have you two picked up the greatest port on the Nintendo Switch, which also happens to be one of the greatest games of all time, Nier Automata? And if you haven't yet, let's have Seth share his thoughts on this masterpiece. So,
Does that mean
I
you've
don't
picked it up
think-
on Switch, or you've just played it
I
before?
do.
You played it on
So
Switch.
I should say, I did play it on Switch. I should say, just for full disclosure, because it was part of the agreement, Square Enix gave us a copy of this for Switch, hashtag free game, and all of that. So we got it for review, and I made a video of it on the All In YouTube channel, and I've been playing it on Switch, and it's really, really good.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
amazing.
Dude, it's so cool. It's a great port. Like they did, and shout outs to Ngachacha and Ryan just did an episode of the RPG Cave, all about it. So if you guys want to hear more about Nier Automata, definitely check that out. But it's a phenomenal game. It's one of my favorites of the last generation. Just everything from it really fires on all cylinders for me. From like the story, the gameplay, the way that the game is always like keeping you guessing. I mean, the game is like a third-person action RPG, but it starts off as a shmup. And then turns into Star Fox.
Yes!
And then like, it's great.
Yes.
It's really, really great.
Sounds wild.
It's so cool. I just, and it has like, it really does have something to say about like, not only, you know, not only does it have these deep themes about like, you know, humanity and like the mistakes that we make as humans or whatever, but it also has like, it also plays with the medium of video games.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
very Kojima-esque. Can I say that? Like I definitely got Metal Gear vibes from it.
Yeah. Very.
TPR in the chat. I'm with you. Like I don't know how to say this. Automata or automata?
Automata. Yeah, I say automata. Because the way I think of it is it's like automaton, right?
Sure.
So I don't know. That's what I go with.
Sure.
Sure.
That's
Whatever
what
you
I
say.
go with is automata. But it's great. And the Switch port is really, really good. Like it's so impressive what they've done with it.
Wow.
Like it looks and runs flawlessly. Like it's just one of those miracle Switch ports. Like I love it. And I don't think y'all have played it. But
Not on Switch.
say-
I haven't played on Switch.
Yeah. Oh, did
So
you
you've
play it on
played
like
it
PS4?
elsewhere?
Or?
Yeah, yeah. And it upsets everybody when I say that I've completed it because I haven't completed it. You know, like apparently got to
Haven't
get to
done all
the
the
ending
playthroughs.
like 6 times or something like that. I've gotten to the main one with 2B, and then that's it. So
Sure.
it's on, like, I don't know, man. How am I supposed to get to everything? I got to a satisfactory ending and it was getting like crazy enough for me. Like it hadn't gone like final form anime game.
Sure.
So it was like, I could still wrap my head around it, but like everything you're saying, like is totally well said. And this is something that I'm glad it's out on Switch. Because more people can play it, obviously. And the fact that it's got a good port is amazing. I know I'm a fake fan, TPR. What can I say? I played portions
and you know
of
what
games.
too, because I feel like too. This is the TPR says if I heard correctly, there's like 5 to 6 not meme endings. Basically, yeah. I mean, there's like dozens of little jokey endings or whatever.
You take the battery out of your robot.
Eat the fish, you know, like, yeah. There's some like jokey endings, but there's like 5. Yeah, I think there's 5 like real playthroughs. It's not even really, Ngachacha said it really well on the RPG. He said, like, I don't consider it endings or playthroughs. It's like chapters, really.
Oh,
of, like,
yeah.
the story, you know? Because and I think a lot of people get really hung up on like that sounds really intimidating, right? Like you're gonna have to play through this 5 or 6 times or whatever to get the full story. That sounds awful. I don't want to do that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But
I got bronchitis.
really, yeah, exactly. But if you if you just look at it in the scope of an RPG, right? If you look at it just as if it is a 60-hour RPG or something, then suddenly it's at least a little bit more palatable, you know? So I think look at it that way. It's
My
really
response to Nagachaca's question is nope. Sorry.
Gotta get you
Can't
on
relate.
it.
Nope,
You
sorry.
gotta get you on this, Locklith. Honestly, like when you talk about that opening hour, it's one of the most interesting first hours of a video game ever. Like it reminds me of like short storytelling school, like when you're in like you're in grade school, like early on, like you gotta grab the reader with like your first paragraph. Like that's what this game does. It's like you are in. It's not like, oh, played for like 17 hours and then it gets good. It's like play this game for 17 seconds and you are in. You're like, what is happening here? It just takes you on a ride right from the start, and I gotta respect that, man. You know,
I love it.
in a world where
and it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheap too. It's $40. Like that's wild to me that they released this a great Switch port for 40. It's not even a full price release. I love it, man. I highly recommend it.
definitely,
Great game.
I loved hearing Ngachacha on the RPG Cave. That was perfect.
too.
Yeah.
I want to hear him on more podcasts. I
Yes.
just want everybody to do a podcast.
Everybody should have a
You know what
podcast.
I mean? Just do a podcast, everybody.
Give it time. People will just be part of carpool gaming eventually. So just
Let's work them all in.
got my eye on you, people.
So I've recorded like 3 different ones in the past week.
I love it.
Yeah. Welcome to our world.
Oh gosh.
We're doing all these podcasts.
I don't know how y'all do it. Truly. Truly.
Yeah, most of the rest of
Insanity.
life is suffering, so that's everything else is in the
But for now,
crapper. But like
we-
podcasting's awesome and video games are cool. So stay in my happy lane.
That's true.
Holy cow.
Talking about games is definitely the fun part of being a part of the team. So, question from the Discord by Brian Eck. Question for this week's episode of the new Nintendo Drive: with the likelihood that the new Super Mario Bros. Movie could quickly become the first video game adaptation to crack $450 million, let alone $500 million and beyond, this lead to a Nintendo cinematic universe?
Oh, can we not just have movies, like single movies?
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at with it too. Yeah.
Okay, well, this is where I defer from y'all, because I think what was it when we were talking about it last week? I said I could see them like putting little sprinkles of like other characters in the Mario movie. I could kind of see them at some point linking them. Like, wouldn't it be great if they did another like Detective Pikachu movie?
Yeah.
Somehow linked the two,
Oh.
like later on. That would be kind of cool, don't you think?
No.
No?
If I'm being honest, that's so I'm of two minds of this. Okay. So on one hand, I kind of just want the Pokemon thing to be the Pokemon thing, the Mario thing to be the Mario thing. However, I do think that Nintendo and you know, something that is going to happen in this movie for sure is they're going to lay the seeds for a Donkey Kong spinoff. That's gonna happen.
Ooh.
And like that is absolutely it's been rumored already. They're doing the Donkey Kong expansion to the theme park. It's going to happen.
Wait, did you just trick me into getting excited for a MCU kind of thing? Is that what just happened just now? Because I was against it in principle, and then I'm like, oh, Donkey Kong spinoff. Yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
Let me just have a
I
sip
think
from
that
my
we will
Donkey
get
Kong
that.
mug.
Oh my god.
Yeah. we will be getting that. I firmly believe that we will be getting a Donkey Kong spin-off series of this. I think that they're going to plant seeds for a lot of things, but I don't know if I would consider it like a Nintendo cinematic universe. And I also, because there's all these people that I saw online, people are like, yeah, like let's get Detective Pikachu and Sonic and all of it. It's a Smash Brothers movie now. And I'm like, y'all, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple people in the chat mentioning Chris Pratt being at kind of the heart of this, and I think we need to just survive this first one together. You know, the internet seemed to explode at Chris Pratt's voice, and I think they were going to explode no matter what, based on conversations that were happening before. It's like, he better not do an Italian accent because he's not Italian, and then it's like, well, he's going to sound like Chris Pratt. I can't believe he sounds like Chris Pratt. Like, there's no pleasing the internet on this. That kind of stuff drives me crazy. So we just have to get used to, like, if Mario movies are going to be a thing for a while, like, that means probably Chris Pratt's going to be in there, or multiverse. What if like this is like Mario 64 Mario, and then we've got like you got Mario 2 Mario, which is like completely different. You have somebody else.
There have
doing
been theories on this.
Like
there have been theories.
like James Bond.
Okay. Well, yeah, kind of like James Bond. So I won't get too far down this rabbit hole, but
Here we go.
What was cool about this trailer coming out was all of my I talked to people that I haven't talked to in 3 years after this trailer came out. Like, and I think I've mentioned this before on either my show or maybe here, but I was growing up, I was big into writing Mario fan fiction online on Super Mario boards and TMK and stuff like that. And I made friends there that I still talk to this day. And like, yeah, people were coming out of the woodwork about this Mario movie trailer. And next thing you know, I'm in this group chat and we're all just like speculating about this movie and how we think it's going to start and stuff like that. And next thing I know, I'm just kind of sitting there. I'm like, all right, I'm back in. Like, I'm back into this little Mario fanfic lore world here, and I'm hyped for this, man. I'm like super hyped for this movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually, go ahead.
No, I'm totally stoked about it. I will say, because we started talking about Donkey Kong for a second there, and like, I don't know if anybody has been as excited about Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong as me. I'm just going to go ahead and claim it. Number one fan, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Like, that's me. I cannot wait to hear that voice. Everything else, like, it doesn't even matter.
It sounds like Seth Rogen.
I hope so. It'll be amazing. That'll be amazing. Yeah, so more Donkey Kong. That sounds great. So I'm stoked about this. There's also a bunch of like references in that trailer to some older games as well. People are kind of picking this apart, and I think that's so much fun. I think that's how this movie is actually gonna last beyond just the movie itself. And I don't know if this has happened with Sonic. Maybe I just don't know enough about Sonic, where there's references to the movie that like kind of like, oh, this is like the thing from the game. Like they've got some music cues and things like that.
A little, yeah.
Right. But there's the one I saw today is Bowser kind of like where he's holding the star is like a screenshot of the old cartoon, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. It's like where I think he was called King Koopa in that. He wasn't even.
He's just
Bowser.
King Koopa back then.
Yeah. So good. Anyway, go Seth Rogen, fellow Canadian as well. Do this,
fellow Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Seth, when you were talking about, did you talk to people that you haven't talked to in a long time because of it? Quagmire on Discord kind of shared something similar. Asked us about the hype levels of the Mario movie. They said that they were cautiously optimistic, but now they're all aboard the hype train, which sounds like a lot of people are. And they plan for this to be the first movie that they take their soon-to-be 6-year-old to the theater. She loved the trailer, and I can't wait to spoil her with popcorn, candy, and all the things to share the special movie with her. And that's just, I think that'll be a common theme with a lot of people.
That's what's so great about this. Just for this to be like, because that was my thing too, and I saw a lot of like, it should have just been Charles Martinet the whole time and everything, and like that's fine. I get it. Like I can be, like an old dyed-in-the-wool Mario fan myself too, but like this, we had our Mario. You know what I mean? Like this movie has got the impossible task of appealing to people that are our age and people who grew up with Mario, and also appealing to kids and getting them to be into this for the first time. It's an impossible task, and the fact that we came away from this initial teaser not hating it,
I don't hate
and like
it.
actually and actually being like excited for it, I think by and large, like I think the general discourse online is that most people are like pretty happy with it. And I think that's remarkable, actually.
Yeah.
I think they should be given a lot of credit for that.
You know what I think I get a little, if I'm worried about anything, it's actually that it's going to be a little safe, if that makes sense. Because I think that they've got just an incredible cast here. I think Chris Pratt is like fine. I think Mario could be a little, little poppier, just a little more there. But I think it's the surrounding cast that really is going to make this movie. And I'm really hoping for like Jack Black to just kind of come out and be Jack Black in the same way that Jim Carrey was Jim Carrey in the Sonic movies. Like, give us that. And Toad, like, all right, I think had a great little segment in this teaser. So I actually think you're not even going to be paying attention to Mario. I kind of hope for that there's so much else going on here that he's just there.
Yeah, like I wanted to hear more from Luigi, like Charlie. I wanted to hear more from him. Like I was kind of excited, but you only got like barely any notes, and I'm like, dang it, I wanted to hear.
Yeah, that's that was the one thing we have to remember. That was really the first bit of news that we got out of the Mario movie was here's everyone, and it's a lot of people. So I'm very excited.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Can I humor you guys with a very brief synopsis of what I think is going to happen in this movie? How
can you possibly first, yes, and then tell us like how you came to this?
So, well, like I said, my friends and I grew up writing Mario fan fiction. I've spent a lot of time overthinking about Mario. I've basically built my internet career on overthinking about Mario. So, and that's a big part of like I was mentioning Behind Enemy Lines. It's all about just like kind of engrossing myself in this stupid imaginary universe. My friends and I were just in this group chat, just kind of like piecing this apart together. And I just want to get this recorded just in case I'm right, because it'll be amazing if I'm right. This is like just full disclosure. I know that there are going to be a few things that are going to happen in this movie that are going to have to sort of reset canon. They're going to have to play it kind of like fast and loose with canon with this movie, I feel like, because They kind of have to.
Canon.
There's all this, canon with
Super Mario can. Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Oh, you have no idea, Sean.
Like in this world, the princess kidnaps the Bowser instead.
Well,
What?
It's
what canon?
Oh, there's canon. There are a lot of theories. Like, for example, there's this big prevailing theory in Mario and the Mario fan community that Jumpman and Mario are two different people because Nintendo. Yeah, I'm dead serious. Because
Over there, Sean. He knows the lore.
Oh
Over there.
man, okay.
because Cranky Kong is actually supposed to be the original Donkey Kong, right, from the old like arcade game. So if you're talking about the way that it works out in the timeline, like how would Mario still be the same age when? Yeah. So this is how deep we're talking about. So I'm just going to really quickly
hang on a second. If there has ever been any other sign that this is a completely different Nintendo Drive than when
Yes.
Queen Console Kato was on the show,
Yes.
we were not getting into canon Super Mario at all.
No.
All right. I just wanted to. It struck me that I hadn't had this type of conversation in 70 some odd episodes. So okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So we're here. Everybody,
Here we are.
everybody's prepared for this. Here, Kato's in the chat, by the way. Hi, Kato. I hope Kato's. I hope Kato's happy with the hands that she left this show in.
It's more like I'm glad I'm not a part of this conversation.
Yeah. Okay. So this is again after hours of like chatting with my old forum friends. I think that this movie is actually going to begin and take place in the first act anyway in New Donk City. I think that we are going to start in New Donk City. We're going to bring Mario back to this kind of like he's actually from a city. We see in the trailer that he is shot out of the warp pipe and he's clearly going into the Mushroom Kingdom for the first time. Right? His first spoken words are, "What is this place?"
That
right?
Okay, you're
Yeah.
okay.
So
That's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yes,
They're working on a train, found a secret word.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Oh no!
So
I don't
we're
want
going
that.
to. He's going to be from New Donk City. We're going to start in New Donk City.
No.
We're going to get exposition about like the founding of the city, and this is just my theory. Each kingdom in this world is guarding a power star, right? Like the one that we saw Bowser take down that penguin kingdom and steal their power star. Each kingdom is guarding a power star. Okay, and Bowser's ultimate goal is to get all the power stars, become all powerful, take over the world, blah blah blah. So we're going to pick up with Mario and Luigi working in the Wrecking Crew, which is, we already know Foreman Spike is in the movie, who is their boss from the old Wrecking Crew game. Sebastian Maniscalco is voicing him. We already know he's in the movie. Foreman Spike's not going to be in the Mushroom Kingdom, all right? He's going to be in New Donk City working on the Wrecking Crew. They're going to be working as part of that, and I think that Donkey Kong, the events of Donkey Kong are actually going to sort of kick off that movie. Donkey Kong gets a hold of a power star, goes on a mad rampage, like the Metro Kingdom's power star. Donkey Kong goes on a rampage, kidnaps Mayor Paulin, and Mario jumps into action to stop Donkey Kong and kind of bring him to his senses. And after that all happens, Donkey Kong is sort of cooled down, and the DK sort of family relocates to a new kingdom away from all the power stars into an isolated island, Donkey Kong Island, setting up the Donkey Kong spinoff. So I think that happens. And then in the crowd, as we're watching Mario fight Donkey Kong, we see Toad, the one that we saw with the backpack, and in the poster, he's got the patches with the various kingdoms. If you zoom in on that poster, he's got Tostarena, he's got the Fossil Falls patch. This is a traveling Toad. This is Captain Toad, essentially. This Toad that we saw in the trailer is Captain Toad. So he's in the crowd. He sees Mario take on DK, and Foreman Spike ends up firing Mario and Luigi for abandoning their post because he's like a jerk. And then we get a montage of the ensuing years of them doing various jobs. So it's going to be a fun little gag. We were exterminators. We were race car drivers. We pursued a doctorate at one point, like referencing all of the old jobs that Mario has had over the years. But nothing really sticks. Then we flash forward to the modern day, and that's when we see Bowser taking down all these kingdoms and stealing their power stars, just like we saw with the penguins in the trailer. And when this word gets to Princess Peach in the Mushroom Kingdom, she puts the call out, sends her toes out to the other kingdom to find somebody to help defend the Mushroom Kingdom. Captain Toad, who was there in that crowd that day, remembers seeing Mario take down DK. Who better to reach out to come and stop Bowser? So he goes and recruits Mario, leads Luigi and Mario down a warp pipe into the Mushroom Kingdom. They get separated at a certain point. Luigi winds up in a different area, which is where we saw him running away from Dry Bones. He's clearly not with Mario, right? And why would Mario be there without Luigi in the beginning of the movie? And that's going to be kind of the inciting incident. I think that's how we get Mario to the Mushroom Kingdom. So
the best part about all of this is how easily like you can follow this as a 6-year-old at the theater.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is what this week's Twitter clip is going to be. Yeah. I think
Twitter doesn't allow clips that long, man.
No, yeah. I just a very brief synopsis of how I think the Mario movie is going to start anyway, and get Mario to the Mushroom Kingdom. That's what I think.
That was definitely notable that he found himself a little like out of place.
Yeah.
So maybe here's my you don't want to know my story that I've been thinking about for about 35 seconds since this topic came up. Mario is at the Olympics with Sonic the Hedgehog, and Sonic drops all his coins, and then he gets sent to the Mushroom Planet, and it's the Mushroom Kingdom. And Robotnik is just leaving. He's like, I might as well stick around here. And then he finds Toad and all the people, and it's actually the same place. And then the worlds collide, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
There it is.
Sean, you want me to add on to that?
Yeah, let's do this. Tag team this. Yeah.
So let's add in Kirby then. Instead of having to get all the stars to be all powerful, you got to get all those shards, right? So yeah, Kirby's got to come in. He's got to help. Get the Waddle Dees in here. Let's throw them all in.
This is why it's taken us until now to get a Mario movie. Because they're just like, but what if we did this? And it's like, that can't be a movie.
It's hard to make it make sense. But you have, with the Power Stars, you have the MacGuffin, right? You have like the thing.
I don't even know what that word means. Everybody uses like a MacGuffin. Is it like a trick or something? Like, what is a MacGuffin?
No, it's like the item, like the sought after item, the inciting, the thing that kicks everything into motion,
Like, do you get it at McDonald's? Like, is it the toy in the Happy Meal?
Yeah. I'd like one MacGuffin with extra cheese. Yeah.
Oh my God.
No onions on my MacGuffin. If you put onions on that thing.
No diced onions on my MacGuffin.
Nobody likes this. Everybody knows this. You don't want onions on a MacGuffin.
Well, after all of that, let's shift gears.
Okay. Thank you all for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah.
I'm tired just from listening. Like, I know you're very into the lore.
And this is what I do.
Fortunately, like, my eyes glazed over and I don't know any of it.
Tell us how you really feel.
That's okay.
But
I wanted it recorded. I wanted it recorded. If this happens, you all heard it here first.
Can't say you didn't hear it here. But other things happening in the Discord. Eat the Hype said was the first, they shared the Splatoon by Pokemon, like the special Splatfest that's coming up on November 11th. And did y'all see it? Are you excited? Which one would you pick?
First of all, this makes too much sense. I can't believe this is a thing.
Obvious.
Blown away. That every once in a while, because Nintendo does these things that nobody's asking for or doesn't do things that we are asking for and all this stuff. So nothing makes sense in Nintendo land. It's impossible to predict. Apparently, unless you're Rebecca and or Garrett Bland on the Nintendo Shack, I guess they did call this. It seemed obvious as soon as you go to the three-way kind of thing. It seemed like it matches up with the starters for Pokemon. But I felt like it was too obvious, so I wasn't counting on it. So when it showed up, it did kind of catch me a little bit, Seth.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I think it makes sense, and it is one of those things, right, where you're like, hang on a second, Nintendo, this makes too much sense.
Exactly.
We're not used to you making sense. Yeah, for sure. For me, I'm Team Grass. I think that if I look at if I look at the totality of my time with the Pokemon series, I've always been a grass starter guy. So I got to go Team Grass.
I'm with Chibi in the chat. Team Water all the way.
Team Water.
Definitely.
They're all great. I mean, I think there's no wrong answer, really.
I don't play Splatoon, but I'll have to pick Team Fire because that's what I always pick for Pokemon.
All three represented. Yes.
Oddly enough, I have another. I bought a bunch of magazines, you guys, and one of these is where is it? The Ultimate Guide to Pokemon is.
I almost bought that.
Yes, how cool is this? Mm-hmm.
Saw that at the store the other day, and I pointed it to my husband. I was like, "Look at that." He's like, "Do you need it?" I was like, "No."
You do need it.
I don't.
Far
Wrong
too
answer.
expensive. It is way too expensive for what it is. Tells you everything you already know. But I looked at this picture of. I don't know if you can see this. Where is it? Torchic is there somewhere, and I realized kind of looks like my daughter. I think Torchic kind of looks like Ellie. Just you put her hair up just a little bit. She's just a giant head. You know, beady eyes and a big head.
The resemblance. Just the big head.
Basically the same thing. But like
full of knowledge.
Ruby and Sapphire, like I think Grass is the last one I would pick in this one. Like if I'm looking at just this page alone. You got Mudkip, Trico, and Torchic. And
full disclosure, that is one of the few generations where I have picked another starter that wasn't Grass. I did pick Torchic that generation.
So are you like consistently Grass like all the time?
Usually.
Other than that one? Yeah. Kevin.
So Gen 3, I was Torchic. Gen 6, I was Fennekin. And then now in Gen 9, I think I'm gonna do Fuecoco. I think I'm doing
That's where I'm
Fuecoco
at.
for Gen 9.
I could be convinced on Quaxley though.
Me too.
Yeah, this is the one time I won't pick Fire. I'm actually going to pick Quaxley because he's a duck. So.
Yeah, it's so good. Like all three are excellent. And I haven't been in the Pokemon world for the longest time. Everybody knows this about me. Like I don't know if this is a thing where everybody just agrees like they're all good. Like is that always a thing? I feel like there's got to be some.
Not usually. There definitely some weak ones. Yeah.
I think there's concern that Sprigatito is going to go up off of all fours and be two legs, and that's kind of people's like issues with really cute Pokemon, especially ones that look like cats. They tend to stand up like humans, and it's like, what is this?
Yeah, but other than that, I'm always Grass. Like from day one, Bulbasaur. Like I've always gone with the Grass types. I don't know. I've just always vibed with them. I just like them.
Well, Chibi shared with us the Splatoon 3 Amiibo, like the posting for that.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah. Do we know about this, or was the news that we have a release date?
Yeah, the release date was the news. We knew they were coming. They revealed that during that Splatoon 3 Direct they did, but we didn't know the date. It was just holiday. So now we know they're coming November 11th, and in fact, I think earlier today Best Buy even already had pre-orders on them. So,
okay, you guys talk for a second. I'm gonna check. Did you pre-order it? Did you get on that?
No, not yet. You know what? My GameStop, and I know how we all feel about GameStop. I know the emotions are mixed, but I have friends that
not
work
mixed.
There and
they're clear.
Well, okay, that's fair.
What's the opposite of mixed? Unmixed.
Just very negative.
Oil and water.
Suppose.
Yeah.
I have friends that still work there, and they're very kind and they're very good about letting me know when those things go up. So I try to give them the benefit of the doubt first, and they've always taken care of me, so I try to take care of them. But if any worst comes to worst, I'll get Amazon, Best Buy. They will be mine. Oh yes, they will be mine.
You're gonna get all three of them then?
Oh yeah, I got to maintain my complete collection. I'm a psychopath.
Like I said, I don't play Splatoon, but that little small fry, he's so cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
So ugly but cute. It reminds me of my boxer. I think that's why.
Yeah, and it's cool too, because we have all this Pokemon chatter with the Splatoon 3 stuff, the Splatfest, of course. That's happening November 11th, 4 p.m. Pacific. So hopefully we'll see a lot of Splatoon 3 playing in the community. But there's a lot of Pokemon chatter going on in the Discord this week too, because there's a lot of kind of hubbub around Scarlet and Violet. We actually have new info dropping tomorrow. at the time we're recording this, we're getting another trailer, despite the fact that we just got one last week. We're getting another trailer for Scarlet and Violet tomorrow. And we actually, Presto the Magnificent asked us, are we getting too much information on Scarlet and Violet? Are y'all just kind of like, I'm good, I don't need to see anymore? Where are y'all at?
Personally, I am, but I want to be clear about this because I don't like making a declaration on like what is needed for the game or for the rest of the world out there. Like some people are eating this up, and I'm sure that we'll see they launched this thing and there's a gazillion views on it. Like it'll probably be good and it's probably good for the game. I'm checking out. I don't need to see anything, but I want to hear from people. Maybe you two are a good place to start. It's almost like I'm hearing from people right now.
Like we're here in the room.
I feel like maybe I might do this to my own detriment, where I go, I've made up my mind. I'm going to buy the game. But Pokemon and games like this, I think might need some explanation. I think I might need to start to just soak up whatever it is they're telling us. It's not like I'm going to be like, I don't expect to be blown away by like, I don't know. I feel like they're just going to talk about like some sort of system or some sort of area or like something that isn't really going to blow my hair back, but probably like good to know. And maybe I should take the opportunity to soak it up. But I think from a marketing standpoint, like I'm day one already. I don't need to be sold on it, but maybe I need to study it a little bit more, if that makes sense.
That's fair. Where are you at with it, Lockleth? Are you hyped?
I am hyped, and I do like kind of lean towards I like getting a lot of info on stuff, and I guess it's probably the negative effects of us not getting more updates for Animal Crossing. Shout outs to Kato on that one. So it's nice to like, you know, that excitement is out there and we're getting more. However, I will mention it depends on what it is tomorrow, because I feel like we've seen a lot. Like last week, like I watched the whole like what was it 14-minute trailer or whatever last week, and it looks like they covered a lot, you know, didn't really go too deep. So unless they're going to go deeper on some things, or maybe they missed out on a few things, like maybe there's more to be excited about, then yeah, give it to me. But if it starts being like, this is just, now you're just telling us the whole thing, then I'm less excited to play it, I guess. I don't know.
What about multiplayer? When was how much do we know about the multiplayer?
I feel like not a lot. I feel like I want to know more about that.
I would like to see more with that. I also think that they need to be more I think they need to be better about this communication too. There was this big thing that happened last week where the European and Japanese trailers were clearly running on a more recent build of the game, where like we saw, it was weird. Like people did side by sides of, there was that shot in that recent trailer of like the Sunflora running behind the trainer, and they were at like 2 frames per second. It looked awful, you know? But then in the Japanese and European trailers, it was all smooth. And like some of the stuff, people noticed that there was some Pokemon that were not previously announced in the mini map on the American trailer, and it was, you know, removed from the Japanese and European trailer. So it just seems like we're getting like outdated looks at the game, which is weird. And I don't really know what the reasoning is behind that. I don't know if it's just like crossed wires in their marketing team or whatever. But I really want, I would like to know more about multiplayer. I would like a little more like transparency on the way that works exactly. Can I play the story in multiplayer? Can we take on, you know, gyms together and whatnot? I assume no, but like I just want to know exactly how it works. You know, I don't want to come into it with questions on that. So we'll see.
When is the release date? November or something?
18th.
So after Extra Life, unfortunately, where we'll be playing for 25 hours, actually. I thought that would kind of be fun to do, but not going to happen, I guess. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
To test out the multiplayer around that time.
It's kind of what I was thinking. Like, wouldn't that be cool? Because it's what we're doing is basically like a big old LAN party, just an absolute dork fest, raising money for those kids. And I think that would be cool, but we're gonna miss it by a couple weeks, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be fun though, and like I'm excited for it. Are we getting? Yeah, I'm also the kind of person, I do get information overload sometimes. I'm kind of like already in as well. I'm kind of with Sean on that. I don't know that I need to see more, but there are things that I would like to see. So we'll see. And you guys listening in the future too, what are you guys talking about? We totally got the whole multiplayer blowout.
I know.
Y'all are late, you know, so it is what it is.
I already said I checked out. Like I was like, they showed the very first like that teaser with the detective like going through and stuff. They showed us the start. I'm like, I'm good.
Oh, you were already in by that
I was
point.
totally in. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Do people really make like decisions about Pokemon? Like once you're in, I don't know if like there's an actual. I don't think there's free will left anymore. You can act like it. There's not.
It's weird, right? Because there was even chatter about this going on in there. And actually, Sam here in the Discord, they asked or they said, like, am I the only person who was more excited for Arceus than Scarlet and Violet? Maybe I'm burned out on Pokemon games, but Arceus feels like more fun, and I'm worried I won't enjoy the new ones. However, I do like the new Pokemon designs. And there's I think a general sense for a lot of like old school Pokemon fans that maybe they're growing out of it, or that they like that it doesn't speak to them anymore. And I think that is kind of a natural thing that can just happen as we ebb and flow in the way that we consume art and things and grow as people. But I think that Pokemon has done a really remarkable job of trying to appeal to both of those audiences. And I've always enjoyed them. Like I've never played a Pokemon game I didn't like. Genuinely, I've liked them all. So.
Yeah, that's a funny thing for me to be on the opposite end of it because I haven't been playing Pokemon since the beginning. It's funny going through this magazine and going like, I didn't play that game, and Lincoln always asked me like, how old were you when that game came out, or when this was like, were you a little boy, that kind of stuff. And I'm looking at this like, I was 14 years old when the first Pokemon game came out. So like, it missed me by a bit. I wasn't really going to be doing that at 14. I don't think. No judgment on anybody else who was at 14.
Right.
I was just in a different place, I think, at that time. But yeah, like timing is everything on this stuff. And I'm just in a space now where everybody has been, I did We the GamerCast for hundreds of episodes, and everybody, especially in the early days, was how did you get into video games? And it was Pokemon. Everybody was Pokemon, and they would say like this generation, that generation. I'm like, I don't even know what this stuff means, but clearly there's something about this Pokemon thing that I keep hearing about. The kids are all talking about it, and it kind of rubbed off on me a little. I'm like, maybe I should just open my mind up to this. And honestly, Pokemon Go that's really the thing that got me into this. I needed to know what these creatures are. What are they even called? Like it became a game for me just to start to remember which Pokemon is which. And I'm like, man, as soon as that kind of got its hooks in me, then I was in. And I didn't need a game, like a full-on game to do that. I just needed to walk around my parks around my house and collect them with my kids, and that did it. Now I'm in. Now there's no choice.
Yeah.
Needed to adultify it for you.
I guess I just needed to, like, because I tried my first real try at it was X and Y. My wife and I were at Nintendo New York when it launched, actually. So our 3DSs were just like exploding. I can't believe they even survived with all the Street Pass. Yeah.
Yes.
And there was like a concert and everything. There was like a big Pikachu like mascot like costume thing, and it was this big deal. I'm like, I get like, how can I not jump into this? This is so exciting. So we both got our copies, and I just didn't know like what's with this Weedle I keep finding. Like I just don't. It didn't really do anything for me. So I didn't have a favorite. I didn't have anything like that. So I tried, and I kind of skipped off the atmosphere. But now I'm at the point where, especially with these starters, they look so great. I don't care about the legendaries. I don't play games that long to ever get there. So
Oh, really?
No. I mean, maybe that, I'm not saying that I won't, but I don't need that to feel like I got my money's worth with a Pokemon game or whatever. I'm really intrigued on the multiplayer stuff here, though, because I need a Sherpa, if I'm being honest. But I also need a Sherpa who is like a parent and doesn't like blast through. Like this was the trouble with Arceus. I found like it was like the 3 days after it came out, people were like, I'm done. There's 92 hours. I'm like, that's time travel. What you just did.
Right.
How did you do that? Don't understand it, but
yeah.
Well, I've been playing Pokemon since I was really young, and so there's been a few like games in between that I haven't purchased over the years, but every now and again I'll buy the next one or whatever. And I think because of the amount of Pokemon games I've played, they kind of are relatively all the same, different graphics on different systems.
yeah.
So I will say when say Arceus. When Arceus was announced, like seeing all the trailers and stuff, I was like super hyped for it. Now I
Totally.
haven't finished the game or anything, but I was super hyped for it because it was different than what is common with the games and what I grew up playing. And I was like, oh my God, it's Pokemon, and I can literally throw a ball at them and run, like I can run away before it's even caught. Like all these different new mechanics were exciting to me. And it kind of being open world, but not really. But anyways, I was excited for that. And when they first announced Scarlet and Violet, I was a little concerned that they would, it would just be the same like the other games have been for me. And I was like, oh, well, I'll pick it up because it's the next one, especially now doing content. Almost felt like a need type of thing. But there are some things in there that are different, and I'm hopeful that the graphics will be better too, but we'll see.
It is funny that does seem like we're brushing up against the Switch's power. Like that's become like just the capabilities of what it can do, right? Because like
With
these
Pokemon.
Pokemon games with well, yeah, like you look at something like Xenoblade, right? And even that, as great as it looks, even that, I'm like, we're starting to bump up. It's time for an upgrade. Like we're starting to bump up against it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a hang up. I've seen a lot of people get hung up on that.
And then they keep buying four more Switches for their Animal Crossing islands. 'Cause you
Gonna
can't
buy
save
both
2
Scarlet and Violet.
That's just it. Like, I think I had some level of awareness when Pokemon really became a thing, and I was really quite turned off back in the day that it was like 2 of the same games, and people would just buy both. And you got to catch them all. It seemed like as it is, and now I just kind of buy into it. I'm not quite as old man about it, but at my age 14, I'm like, they're just trying to like get all the money from these kids, and they're very, very designed, very targeted. Like, gotta catch them all. And there's like a gazillion of them. And by the way, there's cards. And by the way, there's all this stuff. And by the way, there's 2 games that are carbon copies of each other. I don't actually want to get down that road because it's a dark place for me. I'm in a happy place with Pokemon. It's fine. I don't understand it, but whatever. People are grown adults. They can make up their own minds on what they do with their money, but there you go. Chibi in the chat says, listen, Sean, they aren't exactly the same. Okay. Yeah.
Especially the next one, because you get a different professor in each one. And
Oh, wow.
But you know what?
Charge me another $80.
Yeah. I won't get on another fan theory.
You don't even get a
tear
deal
here.
when you buy them together. What is, like...
No, you don't.
You get
No,
one
you don't.
box. They don't even spend as much on shipping.
Yep.
I don't want to do it. I'm happy. I'm in a happy place with Pokemon. And I actually cannot wait to go see what stuffies they've got at Nintendo Store in New York City when we meet up there on November 4th, 10 a.m. Be there. Nintendo. Hi, guys.
Yo.
challenge.
That's awesome.
Yep. Yep. You guys have to let me know what you want, because I could pick up a couple things. You know, you're not going to be there, but I'll ship you a thing or two, you know?
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll do a...
He told you which one for me. So.
I've got it written down. I've got you. Wait, does Ninetales evolve from something else? It doesn't just show up as Ninetales, right?
They're from Vulpix.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
from Vulpix.
That makes sense. Yeah, it looks basically the same, just fewer tails.
And the name is deceiving. It only has 8 tails.
What?
Just kidding.
Is there?
I was like, are you serious? I didn't know
No.
that.
I can't believe I got y'all with that.
I was like, what?
Well, who's
I never
counted?
knew
Who's
that.
actually sat there like one?
I never
a
counted
two,
Ninetales as tails. A 3.
a 3.
Holy cow.
Wow,
Talk about
both of
consumerism.
y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We just
Both of
both
y'all.
immediately jumped to a Tootsie Roll Pop commercial in our head.
Yeah, from 1989.
Being force-fed commercials our entire lives.
Yeah, my kids don't even know what
Pranks.
commercials are now.
Oh yeah, no.
It's so
If
weird.
I have a commercial now, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
I hate it. So our last little bit here is from EPR here in the chat. Trevor, Taylor, I don't know. One of the
Trevor.
two.
It's Trevor.
What kart racer, Nintendo or otherwise, has come closest to dethroning Mario Kart in your opinion? He's heard mighty fine cape, about the Crash Team Racing Nitro fueled remaster.
No.
I don't know if
No,
I played the
absolutely not.
remaster.
You don't have to. That's fine. You're better off for it. There's nothing that touches Mario Kart. I don't care what people are trying to tell you. No Diddy Kong, no Sonic, no Crash, no nothing. Mario Kart is king. And honestly, this type of question that, you know, is as old as time makes me wonder about certain genres where I'm like, I think we've got one of these already. I think we're good. We have a Mario Kart. We have a StarCraft. We don't need anything else. That's the only real-time strategy game we need. This is the only kart game we need. That's it. That's it. That's my take.
Well,
Seth, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, I think I'll push back on that a little bit.
Go ahead. You're wrong.
Because I think competition's good, right? Competition in any genre space is a good thing. And I think that Mario Kart 8 is the best kart racer of the one we have on Switch right now is the best kart racer of all time, in my opinion. Like, just straight up. That being said, I'll take Diddy Kong Racing over Mario Kart 64. Like, I would take it over Mario Kart 64 all day. I would take CTR over a lot of those too. Now, nothing touches like Mario Kart Double Dash or Mario Kart 8, but something like Ryan here in the chat shouted out Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed.
No,
that's an amazing game.
It's not.
Like it is. It's really good. And it's got Jet Set Radio characters and stages. It's already better than most kart racers just for that alone. You know, and Diddy Kong Racing too, like I really love that it had like a story mode. And I wish more kart games would have like a story mode. Like how cool would it be if Mario Kart had like a proper adventure mode to it? With like
starring Chris Pratt. And he starts off in New Donk City and he's driving around.
Please reiterate the entire lore, please.
Yes,
that's as much as I retained. That was the maximum capacity.
No, I think yeah, and yeah, Diddy Kong Racing was Banjo's first appearance, so we do need to give it credit for that. Also, Conker's first appearance was in Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah. So, gotta respect it for that.
Well, I didn't really have an answer to that question because I really haven't played. Like Mario Kart like games outside of the actual like Mario Kart like franchises and things. However, this is a game I have not played, but I have no idea how it works, like control wise, if it's even good. Just due to the characters, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3.
Oh, is that the one coming out?
Yeah. Looked very interesting to me, only because of the Nickelodeon characters, specifically Invader Zim. I used to watch that show so much growing up, and I'm sure not a lot of people can relate to that, but Nickelodeon was something that I watched a lot of, and just having those characters in a racing game. Like, I grew up with Mario 2, so it's kind of similar for me in that. I never played it before, so I don't know what it's like.
Yeah. I also, you know what, and I'll just throw this in the mix too. By the way, shout out to Ryan with Kirby's Air Ride. I love Kirby's Air Ride. And we got to throw that at Sean real quick.
No, right? I don't have it. I I need to get it.
I feel like you might be doing this on purpose, you guys.
It's a great
people
game.
In chat are the ones
they're doing
it.
They're doing it. They're the ones bringing it up. We're just But I will say too that I also think that I don't know if any of y'all played Snowboard Kids on N64.
No.
Snowboard Kids 2 is up there for me in terms of kart race. It's not as good as CTR or Diddy Kong Racing or certainly Mario Kart, but it's up there. It's really good. Like Snowboard Kids 2 is one of my favorites on N64. That'd be a great one for NSO. So fun.
My shout out to not Mario Kart, but a total wannabe, especially the original Super Mario Kart. On PC, Wacky Wheels. You owe it to yourself.
Wheels.
Yeah, go play Wacky Wheels. You can play as a panda or as a tiger or a bunch of cute zoo animals, and it totally looks like Mario Kart, but it's not. You're just cuddly little zoo animals, and it's the best.
Yeah, but like 2 minutes ago, you're like Mario Kart or bus, no others. Why,
Look, I was gonna say Wave Race. Kato's in the chat talking about Wave Race. Wacky Wheels cannot touch Mario Kart. But you
Sure.
gotta, this is one of those games you kind of have to appreciate the hustle on how like shameless it is. It's absolutely ripping off Mario Kart and just like skin swaps, palette swaps for like Mario is a panda now.
Mod Nation Racers was good too. Yeah, Mod Nation Racers was fun.
That's probably as close as it gets. But that was one of the games, again, like that's where I'm like, do I need one of these? I already have one of these.
That's fair.
I don't know.
But I kind of like that stuff though too. Like I kind of like, oftentimes I'll be like, if I want to play Smash, I'm just going to play Smash. If I want to play Mario Kart, I'm just going to play Mario Kart.
Right.
But every now and then, I actually liked the that Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. I thought it was pretty cute. I thought it was like a fun, little kind of Smash Melee style. I don't know. I think you can appeal to different markets.
That's as close as I would get. Well, it's all about, I feel like it's all about the characters in it. And I just like Crash, like just who cares? If you're not Crash himself, who cares? Like even a little bit. Like just give me a bunch of different like sides of Crash, like Crash running towards the screen, Crash running away from the screen, going side scroll. Like that's what I would want. Nickelodeon has the thing it needs. It has a bunch of characters that you can have.
Speaking of things that you need,
Speaking of things,
little show and tell for this evening. It's very related to what we spoke on, but it's my original Pokemon Red for the Game Boy that I had.
that's in great shape. Holy cow.
Team Fire indeed.
I was thinking the same. I was like, there's no like lucky.
Is that your childhood copy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Lachlan took care of stuff. Look at that.
Virgo all the way, baby.
Not just like peeling the thing off. Virgo.
Yeah.
Oh man. I wish I had some. My wife recently went back up to Washington. She was away for a little while to go to a wedding, and she got a whole lot of stuff from her childhood and brought them home with her. Like her old bear that she used to sleep with, like when she was a little baby. She has that now, and she brought it. I'm like, dude, this is so cool. I wish, like, getting to reclaim that little piece, of your childhood like that.
Yeah.
Oh, chef's kiss.
I'm definitely glad I've hung on to it. Sure. And I was admiring how well I took care of it, to be honest. Like, I don't think I was that great with taking care of my things, but apparently I'm pretty decent at it. I think
When my kids misbehave, their treasured toys get thrown into the inferno. Then they watch.
Into the incinerator.
Ron, is this just the theme of your mood for the whole?
Just gonna surprise you with some dark stories. No, they have everything. They won't get rid of anything. We've got like baskets full of stuff. It's ridiculous. Too many things. And I'm gonna add to it with new Pokemon stuff from Nintendo Store. Oh my gosh, bad decisions with money are about to happen. Holy cow.
We've exhausted our things unless y'all have anything. Extra.
I just want to say, give me a kart racer with the Street Fighter characters in it. Give me Ryu like hitting like fireball next door, and Zangief just was it spinning pile driver for some reason on another cart. Yeah, that's what I want. I want to pick my shove my giant
Sonic Boom.
shove my giant Street Fighter characters into tiny little carts. That's the perfect game.
Blanca electrocutes the whole cart.
It could work.
That'd be
I'm
cool.
telling you. That's it. Like, these power-ups never make any sense. I don't ever like the power-ups in any of these other kart racers. That's why Mario Kart is the one, but Street Fighter Kart. Put it on your wish list. Change.org. Put a link in the show notes.
Make it happen. Yeah.
And I add that to your predictions at the bottom here, Sean.
You never know. You never know what's going to happen.
Sean, how about you tell us some other surprising things, like where people can find you?
Super surprising. Yes, you'll never suspect that my Twitter handle is my first name and then my last name, no spaces, all lowercase. Sean Capri on Twitter at Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. And that's basically. I do a couple other podcasts. The Xbox Drive every Wednesday here at youtube.com/carpoolgaming. And you can support us at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. That's it. That's what I do. That's me.
How about you?
Yes. Hi. $2 Hero on Twitter. That's me. Hi. You can find me on Twitter. I do other podcasts too, all on Nintendo podcasts. New episode of Keep Nintendo Weirds coming out with Lachlan here later this week. I do videos and stuff on YouTube. So I do all kinds of stuff, y'all.
Y'all are busy. Like I'm exhausted hearing all the side projects and things, but you can find me on Twitter at LocklithTWT, like Twitter, or on YouTube at just Locklith. But thank y'all for hanging out with us for today's episode of the new Nintendo Drive. Bump that like button if you haven't already before you leave. Fuel this carpool in the comments below by answering which starter Pokemon will you choose in the upcoming Pokemon game? Let us know. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the new Nintendo Drive. Now, before you drive off, be sure to like the stream and subscribe here on YouTube and follow us at Carpool Gaming on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. If you liked what you saw and want more, be sure to support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming.
Beak.